For a while now, the SCUF Instinct Pro has arguably been the best Xbox Pro controller out there, offering back paddles, programmable profiles and best-in-class hair triggers. But there is now a new challenger on the market in this. The Stealth Ultra by Turtle Beach. It offers largely the same features as the Instinct Pro, with a few extra of its own thrown into the bargain. But which is better? Well, in this video I aim to give you the information you need to help decide which, if any of these controllers would suit you or your playstyle best, and ultimately, which one to pick up. To do this, I will contrast and compare both controllers in 4 main categories, talking over pros and cons in each section, all before giving an overall verdict at the end. Sound good? Well, let's get into it. What's up YouTube, my name's Gavler88 and on this channel I love talking about controllers, especially premium controllers just like these two right here. And as I mentioned, we will be putting them head to head in 4 categories and seeing which comes out on top. Now both of these controllers were purchased by me with my own money, and as always all the views expressed in this video are my own. The first area covered will be the price, including everything you receive with a purchase. Secondly, the design and key features, touching on general aesthetics as well as standout attributes, and of course we will also talk about the durability. Thirdly, how customizable the controllers are, what you can do to make them distinctly your own. And last but not least, the playtest. How are they under use? How do they feel to play with? So let's roll straight into it and talk about the price. Well, as to be expected, 2 premium controllers means 2 premium prices. Starting with the SCUF Instinct Pro, and in the UK it would set you back around £200. In the US around $220 and in the EU €220. Now regarding the Stealth Ultra, well in the UK you were looking at around £180, US around $195 and in the EU around €195. So as I said, 2 premium prices, but what's included for your money? Well, in the SCUF's case, not too much. You get the controller, a 6-foot USB Type-C cable, and a second set of thumbsticks. Moving on to the Turtle Beach, and of course you get the controller. It also comes with a braided USB Type-C cable, a carry case as well as a charging dock, a USB dongle needed to connect your controller to your console, and also some thumbstick grip rings. As I'm sure you can see, in terms of bang for buck, or which is the better deal, it's clearly the Stealth Ultra. It's cheaper and comes with more in the box, the carry case being a standout. And when you throw in the charging dock, it tips the scales further in the Turtle Beach's favour. But there is more to choosing a controller than what is the better deal. Design choices and key attributes need to be contemplated. So let's talk about the design and key features. Starting off with the general aesthetics, and both are similar and largely follow the standard Xbox controller model. They both look good, although I am more of a fan of the SCUF's low-key looks. It has textured grips on the side as well as on the bumpers and also on the triggers. The Stealth Ultra is anything but low-key. It has a more boomerang-like shape, RGB lighting, text on the controller and a screen front and centre. More on this later. It also has a textured finish on the side, triggers and bumpers, but not as effective as the SCUF's in my opinion. Personally, I prefer the look of the SCUF, but let's move on to the features each pad possesses. If you're looking for a Pro controller, you are no doubt very interested in 2 specific features, hair triggers and back paddles. Both do offer multi-stage hair triggers as well as 4 programmable back paddles, but for me the SCUF comes out a little on top here. Regarding the triggers, and there's definitely less travel than there is on the Stealth Ultra, giving more of a mouse click like feeling, while the triggers on the Turtle Beach are more reminiscent of the ones found on the Elite Series 2. Regarding the back paddles, they are again very similar and positioned in compatible places, but like with the triggers, I feel the paddles are implemented better on the SCUF. Your fingers fit into the groove between the paddles, while they seem to just sort of sit on top of the paddles on the Stealth Ultra. What features the SCUF does have, it does very well. But this is where the scales start to tip back towards the Stealth Ultra, as it just has more features than the Instinct Pro. While they both do have programmable profiles, which you can change on the fly, the SCUF offers 3, while the Stealth Ultra offers 10. Slight overkill, but something to think about nonetheless. It also has a built-in battery, while the SCUF requires AA's. Now, I'm a little torn on this. On one hand, a built-in battery is great. It means never ever having to go hunting for batteries. But then again, if the battery goes faulty on your controller, then your controller is knackered. Remember to let me know your thoughts on this, it's usually a touchy subject. Another touchy subject is stick drift, and while the SCUF still has potentiometer thumbsticks, which are known to be prone to stick drift, the Stealth Ultra comes with Hall effect thumbsticks, which are known to virtually eliminate stick drift, so a major win for the Turtle Beach controller here. The biggest differentiator when it comes to the features, however, has to be the screen on the front of the Stealth Ultra. I must admit I thought that this was a bit of a gimmick at first, which it certainly is to a certain extent. But it does allow you easy access to your profiles, thumbsticks and trigger dead zone settings, as well as some social media compatibility. It really does come in pretty handy and adds added functionality to the controller. In terms of sheer number of features, the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra certainly has an edge over the Instinct Pro. But as I mentioned, in my opinion, the things the SCUF does well, such as the instant triggers, it does very, very well. But at this point in the video, I feel it's time to talk about my thoughts on the durability of the controllers. The SCUF Instinct Pro has been my go-to controller for the best part of 2 years now, and I have a video here talking over my 1 year review, which you can check out right here. But for now, I'll say that the only real problem I've encountered has been stick drift on my left thumbstick. It's nothing major, but it is definitely noticeable. I will also mention that although I've not had many problems, I have heard of others with a number of other issues, such as faulty bumpers or back paddles. On the Stealth Ultra, it's far too early for me to give a definitive review on its durability, but again I'll mention that I have heard of a few problems, such as the controller bricking, which is not ideal. In my opinion, it does feel less premium than the Instinct Pro, the bumpers especially, which feel a little squidgy and don't fill me with confidence over prolonged use. With all this being said, again I haven't had any real problems with either controller, but I felt it was important to mention some problems that could be encountered. So with the design, key features and durability suitably covered, let's get into the third review section and talk about the ways you can make the controller your own. Let's talk about the customization. As talked about earlier, both controllers offer programmable profiles, allowing you to configure different button configurations for different games or players. This is taken to the next level on the Stealth Ultra, with you being able to change trigger and thumbstick dead zones straight from the controller itself, simply by using the screen. The SCUF offers 3 profiles, while the Turtle Beach offers 10. Again, overkill in my opinion, but more options are never a bad thing. The SCUF allows us to swap out our thumbsticks for a different combination of sticks, which is super beneficial when playing shooters. And we also have the opportunity to change up the faceplate simply by pulling it off and simply slipping on a new one. Now we do have to purchase these separately, but it is a customization option which the Stealth Ultra lacks. The Stealth Ultra doesn't have the ability to change up your thumbsticks, but we are supplied these thumbstick caps, which are designed to give a different texture or function to the sticks. I'm not much of a fan of these, to be honest, and just stick to the default sticks. The coolest customization option on the controller, however, has to be the ability to choose the color and animation effect of the RGB lighting surrounding the controller. Definitely another gimmick, but it is undeniably cool. I often find myself in the controller settings messing around with the color configuration. So in this area I found it pretty close. The Stealth Ultra definitely has more ways to fine tune the controller, made simple by using the screen. And the RGB lighting is really cool. But being able to change up your controller faceplate as well as swap out the thumbsticks on the SCUF does have me teetering either way. But enough about the customization. Let's get into perhaps the most important area of this comparison, the playtest. How do the controllers feel under use? Firstly, I've got to say that both controllers are comfy in hand, the SCUF mirroring the Xbox Series pad fit and feel, made better by the side grips. While the Turtle Beach, although shaped slightly differently, still feels good. I would say it actually feels a little smaller than the Instinct Pro, which is surprising considering the screen integration. Now I would also mention it does slip a little in my hands after a while of use, not something I noticed on the SCUF. The Hall effect thumbsticks the Stealth Ultra possesses feel awesome, a little smaller than a regular controller's thumbsticks, but snappy and precise. I also enjoy the sticks on the SCUF, but not being Hall effect will almost certainly result in stick drift. As mentioned earlier, the back paddles are similar but implemented better on the SCUF. It just feels easier to me to hit all 4 of the buttons. Not that I find myself using all 4 very often, to be honest, but they do just fit my hand that bit better. Being a gamer who plays a lot of FPS games, the triggers are a key area for me, and again, I prefer the triggers on the SCUF. The shorter travel seems, at least to me, to help me get my shots off that bit quicker, and that's really where the SCUF excels, in shooters. It really feels designed for this kind of competitive experience. Now, there is no doubt that the Stealth Ultra is also aimed at this market also. However, when you consider the countless programmable profiles, the built-in battery pack and more durable sticks, they are also squarely aiming at more casual gamers also, or gamers who like to play a few different game types. When you take the D-pad for example, the more circular pad I feel could be pretty useful for fighting games. It's clickable but also has nice rotation, just something which the Instinct Pro lacks. The Pro features the Stealth Ultra offers do feel nice in practice, and I felt I was getting pretty proficient with the controller, especially once I dialed in my dead zone settings. But I have to admit, when things started to get that little bit tougher when playing in some tougher lobbies, I found myself swapping back to the SCUF. But as I said, this has been my main controller for well over a year, but it's only to be expected that it plays more naturally for me. In general, both controllers play great, the SCUF being the more competitive focused, but not by too much, while the Stealth Ultra gives some impressive quality of life options. So when it comes to how they are to play with, there isn't much in it for me, but the paddles and the instant triggers on the SCUF do sway me a little. Now that we have the 4 review areas covered, it's now time to tally up the scores. When it comes to the price and what's included with your purchase, I have to give it to the Stealth Ultra. It's the cheaper controller and comes with more in the package. The charging dock is a big win for me. For design and key features, I'm again tempted to go for the Stealth Ultra. It just has more going for it. The screen, the RGB lighting, and the built-in battery. But the things the SCUF does do well, such as the instant triggers and the back paddles, brings it back into parity. So for me, this area is a tie, but remember the durability concerns I have previously mentioned. For customization, I've again gone for the tie. The screen on the Stealth Ultra allows for easy and in-depth customization of things such as your dead zones. But the faceplate swapping out on the SCUF is a really cool addition and something that will instantly make a controller your own. And when it comes to the playtest, it really does depend on what you're looking for from a controller. But for me, I enjoy playing shooters, so I've gone for the SCUF in this section. It just feels more suited to the types of gaming experiences I enjoy. So overall, I have these controllers as a tie. Now I feel it really comes down to what kind of experience you want from your controller. Competitively, the SCUF takes it. It's designed for that. But the Stealth Ultra is no slouch here. It still has nice back paddles and hair triggers, just not quite as good as the SCUF. The ability to fine-tune your dead zones also make it a good choice for competitive gaming. Although for me, the usability and other functions make it a more generally rounded controller, aimed at a wider group of gamers. I still find myself picking up my SCUF when I sit down to play. But in all honesty, I would find it hard to recommend you pick up the SCUF when the Stealth Ultra offers everything the SCUF does, but also much more into the bargain. More accessories, a built-in battery, more fine-tuning, a display screen, and a lower price. So for me, if you're torn between the two, I'd pick up the Turtle Beach Stealth Ultra. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about these two controllers? Which one have you picked up? Or are there any other controllers that should be considered? Remember to let me know in the comments below. Oh, and if you have found this video helpful, remember to hit like to help spread this video out to more people. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. Or like this video right here, putting the SCUF Instinct Pro up against another popular Pro controller, the Elite Series 2. But that's it guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. And until the next time, I'll catch us.